Wendy Williams' medical reports are finally out, and the court has affirmed that she is permanently mentally incapacitated and she should be under a guardianship. This is something that Wendy Williams has battled for a very long time with hashtags Free Wendy. According to an article published by Essence magazine, it says Wendy's attorney John Tacopina says the guardianship was illegal, and it doesn't mean that if Wendy is mentally incapacitated, she should be under some sort of guardianship or conservatorship, something that Wendy Williams has continued to fight for a very long time since her exit and even before her exit on the talk show Wendy Williams. According to a court filing that was done in 2024 by Morrissey, he says the court declared Wendy Williams permanently incapacitated. And Wendy Williams was once again diagnosed with frontal aphasia or temporal frontal dementia, just call it that. And thus the concerns of legal processes to have her be under monitorship, conservatorship, or guardianship. But again, while all of those things have been happening, Wendy Williams' ex, who did her dirty, that is the husband, Kevin Hunter, had filed a $250 million lawsuit against the guardianship, saying that he wants Wendy Williams to be free so that he becomes in charge of her money. But again, Wendy Williams loudly refuted it and disassociated herself with Kevin Hunter because they had legally divorced, and Kevin Hunter did Wendy Williams dirty by getting a mistress pregnant and using Wendy Williams' money to furnish her life, something that broke Wendy Williams deeply and badly. Now, I'm going to take you through quickly why the legal conservatorship or the guardianship had to be enforced. It was, first of all, initiated by a New York court after it found out that Wendy Williams had health concerns, and so she couldn't be under her own care. So they had to initiate a conservatorship, and this touched on health concerns or health issues that poignantly and prominently pointed out the dementia, since Wendy Williams is a national figure. If you don't know who she is, Wendy Williams was a syndicated radio and television personality. She was a shock jock from New Jersey. That's what she claimed to be her identity. I'm just from Jersey. I'm a Jersey girl, and we miss that. She was also the host of the Wendy Williams Show, a show that inspired me deeply. I remember in 2015 when I was given a radio segment on Campus Radio to brief our listener. It was literally under 55 seconds, just a minute, so to say, to inform people of what was trending locally and internationally. We were to do some sort of like an adaptation of the Kiss FM's Daily Dirt with, I think it was then hosted by Ruhila Datia. She died in a Westgate attack. And then it was given to Linda Nyangweso. Do you remember that? And then Ketsi Dede. So I was told, imitate that, but now the Kenyan version, and then the university version, because I was on Campus Radio. And I remember going to YouTube and I was searching some of the international stories, and I came across an excerpt that had been done. It was a breakdown of Kim and Kanye. I think Kim Kardashian had been attacked in Paris, had been robbed at gunpoint here. And then later on, I think there was something again that was going on with Kanye, with the Grammys and whatnot. You know, like he ranted on stage and dropped the mic. So Wendy Williams had done a dramatic, hot rendition of that. And from there, I never stopped watching the Wendy Williams Show. Till today, I follow Wendy on Instagram, everywhere, her archive videos as well. I follow her niece, Alex Finney. In fact, recently during her birthday, Wendy's birthday, I texted Alex Finney and asked and wished Antoine, and I asked, how's Antoine? Please wish her a happy birthday, and how's she doing? So she never really responded with like a DM back, but she just reacted to my message with a love emoji that made me feel so good. And from thereafter, I've been a fan of Wendy Williams. She played a huge role in my radio career back then, until right now as well. Now, on matters finances, when it comes to Wendy Williams' finances, it was impossible for her to be in charge because I believe the guardianship is trying to protect her from exploitation. Because I was also asking myself, why can't they just let her be under the care of her family? But because Wendy is a national figure, iconic, legendary, momentous, authorities must be involved because she made a lot of money from her talk show. And so there could be plausible cases of exploitation, and thus the need to be under a conservatorship. And so the court had to be involved, and it had to assign a guardian who Wendy Williams has said vocally she doesn't like the Guardian. There's been a back and forth, to free her from the Guardian, hashtags free Wendy Williams and whatnot. And I remember as well, she's been very vocal because she's been passing all these stunts. I remember when she did a phone call interview with the TMZ guys, and you could see Wendy Williams on the balcony. She was saying she feels like she's in some sort of like a prison isolation. She doesn't even know her guardian's name. She doesn't know the people around her, but she's at a luxurious place, and she wishes she was outside and just walking normally. And she's also been making statements. She also did an interview with the Views ABC, and you could see the Joy Harris, the Sunny hosting, saying, "You really sound well." Like they could ascertain her statement. There was no slurred speech and the staccatos and whatnot. Wendy Williams sounded really sound and good and just normal, and we've been rooting and vouching for her, especially for us who are fans. And I know there are so many people outside there who are fans of Wendy Williams, especially if you work in media and in entertainment, radio, television, or even magazine lifestyle. Wendy Williams had opinions about everything, and not just opinions, really spicy and hot opinions about things, and that just made her unique. And so we are vouching for her. We really can't wait for her to be free. But it's really interesting, because we thought maybe after going through all of that, she would be free by now, but it just looks like she might never be free. And I've been seeing her on a scooter. There's that. I think it's a very fancy scooter, Wendy Williams scooter, man. And she's been speaking, doing these short interviews that have been shared on social media, saying she's ready to get to work. And we can't wait to see her when she manages finally to exit the conservatorship, guardianship. We want her to do a podcast or just sit down and just give opinion about something. Of course, we miss Wendy Williams, and how you do, we miss that, and we can't wait for her to be free. We wish her the best of luck.